He looks to be in really good form coming into this Jets season. Von Sonkam, of course, she was the goal scorer last weekend for Perth. Opening the account in the 49th minute. It took the Glory some time to pick apart Western United, who did have their chances as well, and Von Sonkam's finish was a delightful piece of skill. Here's Mijicic. Plays out through Jess Cowett, who's the Philippines international. She played in her A-League women's debut last weekend too. Davis finds the feet of Barbieri. Pryor able to play out. Jets look to go around the outside to try and build into this game. It took them a while in that F3 derby against Central Coast just to settle in, find their feet, understandably so. There was a big turnover in the off-season. Gary Van Egmond coming in to take the role midway through last year from Ash Wilson. We saw 13 players depart in the off-season, but 17 new players come in, and a lot of youth that Van Egmond was familiar with as part of the Newcastle Jets, emerging Jets Academy. Jets can look to build once more. It's Tash Pryor holding down the centre of defence for Jets. This youngster Zoe Karapetis, this is her A-League debut today, just 18 years old. I mentioned powerful defender Alex Hun was sent off last weekend in that F3 derby, picked up a second yellow card. Jets look to build here, but Cowett should be able to tidy. It's a nice touch. Rigby a little short on that pass, but she can drive forward. Tries to charge through the oncoming challenge of Baumann, but will end up with the throw. Barbieri. Davison concedes a bit of territory. All the way back to Tash Pryor. Pryor, who spent a bit of time with Canberra United as well before having some time off. A lot of action down this Jets left-hand attacking side. Perth just happy to sit back, invite the first couple of passes from the Jets. Davis connects well with Barbieri. Nice combinations forming early between those two. Karapetis just named in Leah Blaney's Young Matilda's squad too. That's a good overlapping run. Chico gets her heads up, look early, and here's Barbieri. Can she finish? Pulls that wide. She'll be disappointed with the effort. There's a nice build-up from Newcastle, a little wry shake of the head from Mindy Barbieri. We know the kind of finishes she's capable of. And this one presented itself really kindly. She's just tried to knock her laces through that. Very technical player is Barbieri. She'll want that one over. Here, Perth will look to play quickly. Mijicic not on the same page as Von Sonkam, and Newcastle will look to drive forward. Rigby, close company of Baumann. Really close pressure from the Jets. Perth just struggling to clear this, still alive. Barbieri just bundles that one out. Some early pressure from the Jets, and Glory's defence struggling to settle on that high pressure. Rigby, the experienced campaigner for Perth Glory. club player is Tash Rigby. 95 appearances. The captain of the side, Rigby, such an important part of this Perth team. Just the one goal to her A-League career. Came last season. Sure, fans of the A-League will remember the celebration too. Pure joy. Solid body. Good shoulder to shoulder there between Fonsoncam and Cass Davis. Cassidy rolls off nicely. Perth look to open the field up a little bit through a switch of play, and here's Miocic. She can drive forward. Looks for the run of Fonsoncam. Nice touch to Rigby. Glances forward, and here's our first look at Millie Farrow, the English striker. It's quite a storied history. Represented Chelsea, Bristol, Reading, Leicester. Millie Farrow, the 27-year-old. She did represent England at both under 19 and under 23 levels. Looking to make her impact here in Australia in the A-League. A little clip of the heels there of Hannah Lowry, and Beck Mackey had to think about it and then played the free kick. Here's Farrow. Tries to help onto Sakalis. Lauren Allen, well, we know the speed that she possesses. Really rapid player, and she's come away with the throw. Here's Claudia Chico, the 19-year-old, a really talented young player. Across from the Wellington Phoenix in what was her debut A-League women's season last year. Looks as though she secured herself a starting position in that right fullback role for the Jets. Great young talent, is Chico. Early doors has Perth Glory just a bit more comfortable in possession at this stage. Here's Cowart. She can drive forward into space. Looks for a long ball. Jale tries to help around the corner, but Pryor is strong. Well defended. And Nino puts her boot through it just to relieve the pressure. Bit of a hefty challenge in there. Burrow's asking the question up against Cassidy. Perth will get an opportunity to reset and go again as we get another look at that leg. Just a leg, a trailing leg perhaps left in. We're live in play here, and Cowart looks long. Good hold-up play by Farrow yet again. Nice switch out to Rigby. She can look up in space. There's Bauman for attention. Nice little touch from Rigby. Looks to swing across him, but it's well defended by the Swiss international. Georgia Cassidy, who jogs over to take this corner. First of the afternoon. Cassidy with one arm in the air, looks to assess her options. Bit of a short corner, bundled in, flicked on. Defensive header sees it out. Perth happy to go all the way back and involved goalkeeper Morgan Aquino, who hasn't had too much to do in this opening passage. Big glancing header, and that's end to end at the moment. Davis with close pressure from Fonsoncam. She's been lively. Well read on that occasion by Rigby. Fourth official just ensuring that Lorena Baumann, the 26-year-old, that's the Swiss international for Newcastle Jets. Takes it back. Just looking for an option. Here's Grace Jarley. She's dropped in a little deeper to try and pick that up. Of course, she had that wonderful strike last weekend to all but secure the points for Perth Glory against Western United. Really enjoying her football in purple, having come across from Canberra United, a good productive season in green, and before that the Wellington Phoenix in their inaugural season. Perth can drive forward here. Sakalis, dangerous on the ball, really talented, skillful player. Looks to loft, to cross in, and Rigby's at the end of it. Not without close company of Barbieri. It's good shape by the Jets just to force Perth back in, but that's a well-found ball by Cassidy. Jarley can face forward. Cassidy again, bit of a tricky pass into Hannah Lowry. Really good physical challenge coming in from Emma Dundas up against Von Sonkam. Great physicality, good shoulder to shoulder. Miocic will see this one out. That's well defended. Of course, Morgan Aquino shared time between the sticks last season with Sarah Langman. She's moved across to the Central Coast Mariners. We didn't see her in the first couple of games for the Mariners. Understood she has picked up a slight knock. But Aquino is looking to make this position her own. There's hot competition on the bench in Sally James as well. Last time these two teams faced each other, it was a dominant 4-0 win to Perth at Macedonia Park last campaign. Sarah Hinson led Perth Glory women with 2 goals. Sophia Sakalis and Isabella Filletta also on target that day. Newcastle can look to build. Davis dropping in to provide a bit of support. There's a youngster, Zoe Karapetis, in her A-League women's debut. Doesn't look out of place at all. Pryor can drive forward. Takes the space showed to her, but that pass a little wayward, and Perth look to reclaim possession. Burrows just bundles through, and she'll get a talking to here from Beck Mackey. In fact, it was Tash Pryor who got a word. That ball's still rolling, will be taken back. There's another look at the foul there, it's just a little clip. Ball through, Barbieri looks to clear, and the pass from Burrows hasn't met the feet it was intended for. Perth can build here again. Not much separating possession at this stage. Perth just edging things. Farrow. Strong body from Pryor, well defended. Farrow was asking questions, asking if that was a shove in the back. But here's Burrows, the New Zealand international, looking to drive through. Good touch from Karapetis. That one a little bit too heavy. Here's Hannah Lowry. Lovely left foot. Beautiful driving pass. It finds the run of Jarley. She does well just to nip around Tash Pryor, and that's a hefty challenge. You can hear what the Glory fans at HBF Park think about that one, but here's Tash Rigby. Loves to drive into space. Great athlete is Tash Rigby. Cassidy, little glance up. Nice ball over the top, searching for Farrow. A great delivery. That was from the youngster, Georgia Cassidy, and Farrow. Time to run to perfection. The little applause. She knows that was a good opportunity. You can see Farrow just running off the shoulder of the youngster in Zoe Karapetis. Nino looks to go short and Jets can build again. And Farrow will want that one over. A really good look for Perth. Cam nods down to Lowry. To think at times that Hannah Lowry, just 20 years old, has been in the competition for several years already. Here's Von Songkham driving into space. A nice run off the shoulder from Farrow. She cuts back. It's for Johnston, and a little bit of contact in the back from Davis, but not enough in it for Beck Mackey. Perth still push forward here. It's a lovely touch from Rigby. She glances up, assesses her options. Blazes a ball across the face of the goal. A really good play from Perth Glory. They're having quite a purple patch here. And there's the shout from Songkham. Thought she'd been fouled, but this is a good release pass from Sakalis. That first touch from Rigby, just allowing her the space. Delivery too was excellent. That ball has just found its way over the touchline. Perth will get a throw. Jale looking to move things on quickly. That's a long throw. Trying, searching for the run of Farrow. She's been busy in this opening stanza, Farrow, but hasn't quite been able to make the effect she would have hoped. Allen nods on. Clever by Jale. Puts the head down. That will be a foul given away. Claudia Chico challenges, or it's Davis indeed. The two of them applying some heavy pressure onto Jale. He was, of course, a part of the New Zealand Football Fern squad for the recent FIFA Women's World Cup. But Perth have a good chance here to get some numbers in the box and load up. Isabel Nino just tempting off her line. It's gone short to Lowry. Looks around the corner to find Farrow. Good first touch. Concedes territory. And ball driven in. Cowart's done really well. That's a promising first touch, and Jess Cowart is denied by a solid save from Isabel Nino. It looked for all money that was going to ripple the back of the net. Perth will be frustrated. They've created some really good chances in this opening 20 minutes, and Jale, she can drive at the defence again. Looks to cut in on her left, back on her right. Doesn't quite have the balance to wrap a boot around that one, and a little hand of apology. Great long ball. This first touch from Cowart was excellent. It did take a deflection. And gratefully to Nino, could bundle that one into her chest comfortably. That ball's a little straight down the middle. Lowry's done well. Here's Sakalis. Really good on the dribble, and Jale too. Cassidy. That one's read well by Davis. Nice release ball. Cass Davis finds the run of Lauren Allen. We know she's quick. She glances up. Searching ball for Melina Ayres, who's had a fairly quiet start to this game. Good pressure from Perth. Able to see that away they'll try and build again here. Pryor to Bauman. Barbieri back to Bauman. Perth just starting to sneak up. Newcastle under a fair amount of pressure, and from Song Cam pokes that one out for what will be a Newcastle throw. Miocic is happy to see that one long, just relieve the pressure, but solid from Pryor. Nice feet from Burrows. Perth just struggling to play out from good shape from Newcastle at the moment. Chico for the run of Allen. Early ball in from Allen. Cowett can deal. Perth doing just enough. And a little touch on the heel of Beckmackie. Just tried to get out of the way of that one, but couldn't quite escape the pass. Looks to find Cassidy, who's looking really comfortable on the ball. Just her second game in the A-League Women. She made her debut, as I mentioned, last weekend against Western United, but looks a very handy player in the middle of the park. A junior Matilda was Georgia Cassidy. That's a nice release pass. Nino puts a boot through that one, sees it out for a throw-in. And it'll be Grace Johnson just dropping that one back to Jess Cowett. Finds a nice switch pass through Rigby. Well brought down by Fonsong Cam, and that's a handy ball from Pryor. Good first touch around the corner by Farrow, but doesn't quite have the speed. Well defended by Karapetis, who's standing up on her A-League debut. Well, interestingly enough, Millie Farrow, the 27-year-old, she's actually an author as well. She's got a book about her career, the difficulties she dealt with, injury and mental health. She's looking to write a bit more of that story into the records here with Perth Glory. Here's Hannah Lowry in swinging corner. Looking for Perth to get off the mark, but that meets the head of no one in particular. It's cleared well by Dundas. Long searching ball from Johnston, but it's headed away well by Newcastle. Barbieri looks to get things underway quickly here. He's going to pick up a yellow card for pulling back on the shirt of Cass Davis, it looked to be. It's an early enough card to hold on to for the remainder of the game. That was clever by Barbieri to try and get things underway quickly and just set the momentum, the tempo back in the Jets' favour. Here's Barbieri. A lapping run by Bauman, but Barbieri will look long, and there's confirmation of that yellow card to Hannah Lowry. Chico. Happy to go back through Karapetis and Pryor. They're comfortable at the back, the Jets. Can find Karapetis. Perth just starting to creep in. See the shape with the front three as they look to apply the pressure. Sakalis does well to pick up that ball between the lines, and Cassidy can release through Lowry. Positive first touch. The pass less so. Newcastle just relieving the pressure, turning things around, but Perth are able to reclaim possession. It is still just Perth edging possession here. Either side yet to register a shot on target. To involve herself and would love to open her account in purple. Cowart searching ball through, a little tricky to deal with. Here's Sakalis. 1-2 Church looks to play in Jale, who gets her head up, has a little glance, and Farrow was driving in. Nino well off her line. Ideas right there from Grace Jale, rather, as is the run of Farrow. Fonsonke. Jale's come deep to collect. It's just those little moments where it opens up for Perth. The execution isn't right there, but got himself into a little bit of pressure here. Cowart has done really well to tidy the 23-year-old Philippines international. Jale sizes up Tash Pryor, but Pryor's done well on that occasion. This is that first little look. Jale tried to be a bit cute with it. Active on the sideline. Plenty of instruction. That ball's a little tricky. It's fallen kindly to Johnson on this occasion. She can look to find Farrow. Karapetis. Close by. Just forces Farrow back. Good defending by the young player. Mircic looks for the path of Rigby. Cassidy, say perhaps the first mistake we've seen from her today. She's been quality in the midfield for Perth. Pryor looking really comfortable on the ball. Just pulling the strings in defence. Happy to put a boot through it again. Doesn't look too comfortable when the ball's passed back to her. The 24-year-old, as I mentioned, University of Michigan. Spent the last 6 years there. This is her first season abroad. Aquino. She connects with Mircic. She can drive into a bit of space. Long searching ball. Peters easily intercept. Bit of an unfortunate one, but just a little handball there from Beck Burrows. Perth will get another opportunity to build from a set piece. Johnston. Looking for a pass, but that pass is backwards, conceding a little territory. As Newcastle just happy to sit off in that shape, two at the front, just screening the midfield, trying to stop passes exactly like that one, but Fonsonke has done well. That pass is a little narrow, well done by Cowart. It's a silky turn. Johnston, good shape to get forward. Cowart again, long searching ball over the top, but Tash Pryor is a formidable presence. Bowman to clear. Melina Ayres, who, as I mentioned, has been quiet in this opening 30 minutes, but we know the quality that Ayres possesses. We saw it exactly last week in the F3 derby. Now looks to stretch her legs, but that's really well defended by Grace Johnson, the 18-year-old. Dundas. She swivels, turns, a couple of nice touches. Just looking for an option. Early cross into the box, and Melina Ayres pops up. Looks like there's been a coming together of heads there in that challenge. Claudia Mircic feeling that one on the top of the head from Melina Ayres, who is so dangerous in the air. Ayres looks to be okay. Let's get another look. The cross from Chico that came in. Both players' eyes for the ball. This is just a glance-in header. Mircic will get the required attention, understandably so. But with 30 minutes played, neither side yet to register a shot on target. Possession fairly evenly shared across the two teams. Look, Mircic looked to clear as Ayres had an eye for goal. Thumbs up from the trainer. It's good signs. Claudia Mircic has been really sound this afternoon for Perth. From the Football West National Training Centre, and another one who too has looked to establish herself in this Perth Glory defensive line. Barbieri will stand over this corner. It will be an outswinging corner for the Jets. What can they make of this opportunity? First corner for Newcastle this afternoon. Barbieri, one hand in the air, looks to deliver. High sweeping ball into the box, well cleared by Perth. A difficult one, scrapped back in. Jale's done well. Lauren Allen can clean up there and go all the way back to Chico. He's looking for Barbieri, didn't quite have the leverage on it. Grace Johnson can stretch the legs. She drives forward with good pace. Farrow doesn't quite have the stride. Jets can comfortably deal with that. Throw comes off the body of Farrow, and Newcastle can look to build through Chico. Back once, twice. Melina Ayres for a moment thought she was away. Passes in the final third, you see there, Perth 59, just to Newcastle's 29, really speaks to the quality that we're seeing in the final third, or the positions the teams are getting themselves into. Perth have done really well to travel into that attacking third, just haven't had the final bit of quality, the execution, to make the most of that. Burrows. Well read by Fonsonke. She finds the feet of Farrow. Farrow bundled over by Karapetis. He gives the foul away. She's played all over England. Should be understanding of that physicality and expectant of it somewhat too. Not too much in that one for me. It's a nice ball. Early ball in from Rigby as well. Swept away from Pryor. Early intent from Perth. Egmond continues to orchestrate from the sideline. Here's Fonsonke. Mircic back on the field of play. Good to see after that little head knock. Nice touch too, but that one's a little short. Here's Melina Ayres. She sweeps through. It's going to dribble just to the side of the post, and that is agonisingly close for Newcastle. It was a little bit of a short pass from Mijicic, having just returned to the field of play. Ayres, as a good striker does, opportunistic, just couldn't quite steer that one goalward. But that is a prime opportunity for Newcastle. Perth back with possession. Johnson finds Jale. Perth will have another throw. Jale takes it into her own hands. Sakalis. Well defended by the youngster Zoe Karapetis on her debut today. Hasn't put a foot wrong yet. There's a total shot so far, 3 for Perth, 5 for Newcastle. Bit of pressure. Nino has Jale bearing down on her and a bit of work to do. That's well picked up by Sakalis. Karapetis looks to challenge, but Sakalis, she's a tricky customer. Here's Jale. Round the corner to Lowry. Nice, tidy combinations from Perth. Lowry on her favoured left foot. And Chico does enough to steer that out for a corner. But Perth looking dangerous. As the clock ticks over to the 40th minute, Hannah Lowry will look to get this in on that delightful left wand of a delivery. Ball comes through Pryor, thumping header away. Well defended, and Nino, she's well off her line. That's for the early outlet. Farrow just making a nuisance of herself. And she's going to get a talking to. Nino will get the free kick on that occasion. Finds Bauman. Nice inside pass to Davis. Barbieri. Close attention, both Rigby and Fonsunkamp, who do well to double team. Clever feint to the body by Fonsunkamp. She's looking for a purple shirt. Tash Pryor for company. The fancy footwork of Susan Fonsunkamp. Nothing much in the challenge, but she has afforded her team a corner. She's looked lively again this afternoon. The 22-year-old. Perth with their third corner of the afternoon, and will be Hannah Lowry again. Their fourth corner indeed. What can they make of this one? Nice ball in. Nino called to attention. Push that one out for yet another corner. Lowry will get another pop. Good size on Nino. Had to be alert to the danger. 2 hands up again. Lowry. Long sweeping ball in, and that's really well taken by Isabel Nino. This time she does look to play quickly, and that's a really nice release to Barbieri. Just to square things up. Find the run of Burrows. He's done well. Nice first touch back to Barbieri. Jets looking to build here. Physical challenge from Rigby, but Barbieri, just as she thought she'd gotten that one back, Perth have come away with it. Here's Jale. Outside of the foot to Fonsunkamp. 20 in Newcastle players here, but the question was asked of Millie Farrow. The run was there. The opportunity presented itself. Frustration for Perth. Really good chances. Outnumbered at the back. Newcastle definitely had the numbers around Perth, but the delivery, all it needed was a little glancing touch from Farrow. Nino concerned. She's definitely been the busier of the two goalkeepers this afternoon. happy to sweep that one away, and it will fall to Nino. Here's Pryor. Bit of pressure from Fonsonkan. Farrow's picked that up nicely. Just looking for an outlet pass. Finds it in the way of Lowry. Fonsonkan again. Trying to find Sakalis. Pryor's positioned well, but Jale put a bit of pressure on. It's not going to make this easy for Pryor. A little bit too much pressure on that occasion. She's asking, was it just shoulder to shoulder? Two good physical players in Jale and Pryor. It's a great battle between those two. Strong challenge. Well, it did take into the second half last week for both teams to open things up. Fonsonkan in the 49th minute against Western United, and Jale in the 79th. And it was Melina Ayres in the 81st minute, so perhaps a busier second half. We're not done with this first stanza yet. Ayres in a bit of space. Rigby works back into a good position, but a nice sweeping cross from Ayres, and Dundas, she's met that really well. Didn't have the redirection on it. Just a flash, a moment for Newcastle. This first half just ticks away. Marcus looks on. Not concerned at this stage, I'd say. Plenty of really good moments we've seen in the first 45 minutes. Perhaps a little frustration knowing that there have been opportunities, you say, where both sides could have gone up. Chico pulls that one back, and Dundas can look up. It's a good early ball. Melina Ayres, first time strike. She's hit that really sweetly. The ball from Dundas was clever. So we tick almost through the first minute of 2 extra. Technique behind that from Melina Ayres, delightful. Just couldn't quite keep that one down. And even in quiet games for Melina Ayres, you can't at any point ignore the quality that she possesses. Jets with the last little flurry here. But Farrow will look to burst away into the feet of Fonsonkan. She's got close attention. Rigby, Fonsonkan. Just looks to slow things down through Cowett. There's about 30 seconds remains of the stoppage time. Searching ball from Cowett is met well by Karapetis, who's had a really excellent first half for the Jets. And this throw should just about see us into half-time. Chico. And there is the half-time whistle from Beck Mackey. He says we've seen enough of this first stanza as both teams make their way off. Neither side are able to open the scoring here at HBF Park. And after an entertaining first 45 minutes, it's Perth Glory 0, Newcastle Jets 0. Take a look at the first half highlights, of which there have been a few, both sides creating good opportunities. This one fell really nicely. Mindy Barbieri, she would have liked to do better with that. last two. There's been a few of that similar delivery across the face of the goal from Perth, and Millie Farrow just struggling to get on the end of those. This one looked for all money. That was going to go into the back of the net, but it took a kind deflection. Melina Ayres, a quiet opening half, but still has had some really promising moments, and this one probably the closest of them all. As that ball trickles teasingly to the left of the post, and again a similar ball in. Really, really good delivery from Songcam, and deflated Millie Farrow. No, she needed to do better, but Melina Ayres at the other end, well, she can pull moments of magic out. As we have a little look at the halftime stats, really not much separating the ball between the two sides. It's really just that final third movement that we're seeing more so from Perth Glory. Not too much in the way of shots on target from either team too. We're going to take a short break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back with all the second half action just on the other side.
Done?
Welcome back to the second half between Perth Glory and the Newcastle Jets, with neither side able to split the difference at the half-time break. Plenty of chances as the crowd continues to spill in at HBF Park. Of course, today's fixture, part of the double-header, the men's game, kicking off at 4:45 p.m. if you're on the West Coast, or 7:45 p.m. on the East Coast. Stick around on Paramount Plus for that one today. Perth Glory out early as they have a few last-minute discussions. Plenty of options on the bench today for both the Glory and the Jets. There's a little look over the side eye from Hannah Lowry. She's had some good bright moments in the first 45 minutes, and there you get a real look at the height of Izzy Nino, the goalkeeper for Newcastle, the American. She's been the busier of the two goalkeepers this first half, most certainly had a lot more work to do. And it was in the second half where both of these teams came alive in their first round fixture. Goals only in the second 45 minutes, and I'm sure we'll see things opening up this afternoon. And as the crowd builds across into the men's fixture too, there is Millie Farrow, the English import for Perth Glory. She had a few gilt-head chances in that first half and certainly would want those ones over, but here are the Newcastle Jets lining up as Beck Mackey gets things underway, and it's good early pressure from Farrow. Karapetis, who had a really bright first half, her debut today it is, on the ball there, the 18-year-old for the Newcastle Jets. She stepped in to replace the suspended Alex Hun, who picked up that red card last week in the F3 derby. And Jets will look to fly forward early. Ball has just crept over the sideline. Alan Hargraves, assistant referee today, with the Hawkeye on that one. Grace Johnson will jog that one forward for a throw-in for the Perth Glory. Good touches by the youngster Karapetis. Joanna Ayres has done well on the first touch there. The second one let her down a little bit, and it's a foot race here. Farrow will barrel down to the 18-yard box. Just needs a little bit more in the way of support. Finds the run of Hannah Lowry, and that's delightful. Sakalis with the first-time delivery, but Tash Pryor on point. Cass Davis, Georgia Cassidy rather, looks to get a shot away. She had close attention, but she's had a really good game this afternoon as well. Has young Georgia Cassidy. Really good touches in the middle of the park. Nina searching for the feet of her left back, can't quite find them. We have another look. It was well cut back onto her left foot there from Georgia Cassidy. Jets with a throw. Rigby first to that one. Burrows tidies up nicely. That pass less so. Nice footwork from Song Cam. Hannah Lowry happy to concede a little bit of territory. Miocic, who did receive a little knock on the head in the first half, seems to have come back okay from that, which is good to see. Davis connects with Chico, who drives forward. First touch from Lauren Allen, just slightly lets her down, but Davis will tidy up. Chico again, you hear the shouts of Gary Van Egmond to go. Little static from Newcastle. Davis will look forward. Farrow's done really well to put pressure on Dundas. Square ball out to Bauman, and here's von Songkamp. Good strength. That one's just bounced off her. Mackie looking to play attention. Von Songkamp's done really well there. Rigby just let that one get away from her. She's back to her feet and recovering in, and again you hear the shouts The effects mic just picking up Van Egmond and his team to drive forward. Things a little bit static at the moment.
Yeah, on the line, closest to Fina.
He's not happy with that, Gary Van Egmond. Long clearing ball from Pryor, and that will meet Morgan Aquino, who is definitely the quieter of the two goalkeepers this afternoon. Jess Cowett can look forward. Connects really well with Jale. Great ball. Tries to slip it through to Farrow, and that's a well-placed ball. Farrow cuts back in on her right, looking to get the shot away, and here's Von Sonkam. She strikes through delightfully. Susan Von Sonkam, her second goal in as many games. She is flying. Perth Glory go 1-0 up. Well, it was building for Perth. They had chances in the first half. This came from a lovely build-up play at the back. A searching ball from Coward, but this work from Farrow, she's done really well to shake off three defenders, three Newcastle bodies around her. She thought about getting the shot off herself, but really well positioned just inside the 18-yard box. There's Susan Von Sonkam. That is a technical, smart, very clinical finish. Brilliant goal. Well, it did take to the second half for Susan Von Sonkam to open up the account for Perth Glory last week. She's done exactly that again today. Question is, what kind of response can Newcastle offer to this Perth Glory side? Here's Melina Ayres. Nice little around the corner pass. Cowett's done well, but it's fallen back to the feet of Ayres. She's dangerous. Lowry. Sakalis just looking for a release pass, and the run of Johnston might be a little deep. Good first touch from Karapetis. Jale on defensive duties. Johnson, nice connecting ball. Dundas can't quite get by Georgia Cassidy. And Lowry looks to release Rigby. Nice ball on the left foot, and Rigby, one little look up. Early ball driving through. Farrow again. She's there or thereabouts every time. Almost just needs to gamble a little bit on it. Any kind of touch in those moments can be really difficult for a goalkeeper to deal with. Cassidy. Sakalis turns blindly, gets herself into a little bit of trouble, and the Jets look to drive forward. Perth happy to sit back and just allow Newcastle to drive into space. Johnston, good little toe. Cowett, lovely from Perth. Play out of pressure really well. That pass a little narrow. Makes it tricky for the runner, Grace Johnston.
Just halfway.
Wonder at what point Gary Van Egmond might turn to his bench to look to make a couple of changes, some fresh legs. Here's Perth to get on the move again. Nino's off her line really well. Cam, she scored in the 49th minute last week, the 50th minute this week. There's a bit of a trend here for the midfielder. Searching ball over the top from Lowry, but not quite the intended outcome. Perth starting to press a little higher here. Jale looks to close down the space, but Davis has done really well to pick this ball up and drive between the lines. She can connect with Allen. Just that final pass, letting the Jets down, and Perth are able to regain possession and start with Aquino. Johnston's taken a heavy knock here. Chico checking on her as we have a little look at the possession. Again, not too much the difference between these two sides, which has been the story of the afternoon. There or thereabouts, that 50% mark. Perth just edging things. And we have another look at this challenge coming in. Just Chico coming into the back of Johnston, and she looks not in a good way on that initial contact. She's getting the attention needed there, and that shot on target from Susan von Sonkam, the first of the day. First shot on target from either team, first goal. This is a concern for Grace Johnston, who's been excellent this afternoon. It was her debut last week against Western United and rewarded with a starting spot again today, and Claudia Chico made sure to check she was okay. A word of instruction from Alex Epakis. Have another look at this finish. It was really well worked by Farrow, but the finish from Sonkam, really ruthless, clinical into that bottom corner. Isabel Nino's had a busy afternoon, but couldn't get around that one. Grace Johnston will get to her feet. It's a little worse for wear, but the thumbs up from the physio. She's okay to continue. Good news for Perth Glory. A little assuring nod. Had a really excellent day today. And smiles all around, that's good to see. Options off the bench if Johnston did need to make way. The most obvious defender there, Izzy Folletta. So we have another look at that contact. Really concerning seeing that one again. Grace Johnston don't know much about that coming through, but she is back on the field of play. Hopefully she is okay to continue. Past a little skinny Cowett. Just gets a leg through. Here is Johnson. Allen, here's Burrows. Just looking to create some space. Lauren Allen looks forward, tries to chip a ball in. Awkward one to deal with. Van Egmond, the shouts from the sideline, he's not happy. Here's Sakalis. Nice little inside touch to Jale, but that one's escaped her. Cleared well by Chico again. And just these passes not quite meeting where they're meant to go. A bit of impatience. There's plenty of football to be played here yet. Lorena Baumann to take a couple of appearances for the Swiss national team. Moving the other way at the moment, here's Hannah Lowry. Just trying to find a pass. Pretty decent passing accuracy this afternoon from both teams. Perth just edging the percentages there. Alina Ayres can drive forward. Looks forward and sees purple shirts and just the run of Emma Dundas, who's done well. Lowry for attention. But how quick Perth get back into their defensive shape. You can see 6, 7 purple shirts to just the 2 or 3 Newcastle gold. Gary Van Egmond very displeased. Allen with the header. Second ball, Cass Davis has done well. Burrows, little blind turn. The contact into von Sonkam, and Ayres has tried to help that around the corner. Just a little scrappy at the moment. Both sets of players not quite hitting the right side of the body of their teammates with the passes.
Which one? Right, far one.
Here's Rigby.
Can you give us 2 seconds?
Forward to find Fonsonkamp. Early ball to Jale. Nice run. Jale looking to get a touch around goalkeeper Isabel Nino, but she's done really well to come out and collect. Very well done there by Nino. And quickly, Newcastle can look on the counter. It's asking a lot of Lauren Allen, but we know she's quick. Here's Chico. She looks up. Little touch past Johnston. Sweeping ball through. An important touch from Aquino. Needed to make contact. That was a tricky one to deal with. Jets are looking good here. Here's Burrows. Gets her eyes up. Gets a shot away. Bundles down. But Aquino's done well to hold on to that. Lauren Allen, as any good striker does, has followed up. And really brave goalkeeping by Aquino. The first touch that parried off her chest. She let herself down a little bit with that. But an awkward one from Chico. Just a floating delivery. It's actually hit the crossbar. I thought Aquino must have got a sweeping punch to that. She looks to be in a little bit of distress here, just taking a moment. I do hope she's okay. This was a really handy look from Beck Burrows. Nice power behind the shot. Just the technique for Aquino. He's parried that in front of her, and Allen just tried to get a toe to see that ball into the back of the net, but Aquino did really well to smother. As we tick over to the 60-minute mark, imagine both coaches just looking down at their benches for an injection of energy, some fresh legs. Alex Aparkas, a couple of options. Here's another look at the shot. The sweeping cross in from Chico. Pulled out really nicely from Barbieri. Second little touch from Burrows just afforded herself the space. Just popped up. An awkward one for Aquino. Options off the bench for Perth today. Abby Green, good young attacking option. She came in last week around about the 70th minute mark for Farrow. Sadie Lawrence, an experienced midfielder. Another good option just to settle things down, as mentioned.
Substitution.
Izzy Filletta.
Newcastle Jets. Coming off, number 8, Rebecca Burrows, being replaced by number 10, Elizabeth Copus-Brown.
But it will be Newcastle, as we just heard. Libby Copus-Brown. She didn't actually start last week for the Jets. Comes on today, an experienced player. No stranger to the A-League Women's is Copus-Brown. 65 appearances across several years. Newcastle and Western Sydney Wanderers, but most recently has been in the FA Women's Championship in England with Lewis. A really good option to bring on for Newcastle. Of course, on the bench today as well for Perth, the last player I didn't mention, last two rather, Okinli Kozeda, the other Philippine international, a striker, and of course Sally James too. It's a lovely glancing header. Here's Farrow. She can drive forward. She's got Jale in the middle. Karapetis has done well. Centering ball. It's fallen kindly to the Jets. And Larry will look to reload again. Cassidy, that pass is a bit skinny. Barbieri finds Ayres. Copus-Brown, long searching ball over the top. That's fallen really nicely. Cowett does enough just to poke that one away, and here's Rigby. Cowett decides to release long. A glancing header from Jale. Doesn't have the run of any purple shirts. Hear the shouts from Van Egmond. Forward there, wanting Castavis to turn and face forward. Look for that forward ball, the option to break down Perth's defensive shape, which has been sound this afternoon. Nino. Sweeping ball out. Can't can't find the runner Chico. Johnston. Melina Ayres on the ball here, tries to find a way through Johnston, who's been excellent this afternoon. Confirmation of that substitution for Newcastle. It was Beck Burrows who made way for Libby Copus-Brown, but here is Lauren Allen looking to get an early ball in, dispelled by Grace Johnston, who's kept step with Allen.
Substitution for Perth Glory coming on, number 25, Grace Johnston, being replaced by number 19, Isabella Valletta.
Well, unsurprised to see this change take place, and not for any performance-related problem with Grace Johnston. Just that knock we saw a few minutes ago that she took, but she's been excellent, the 18-year-old, and Izzy Valletta, the really obvious choice, experienced campaigner, at just 23 years young, Izzy Valletta, but no stranger to the A-League herself, having spent some time at Brisbane, Canberra, and of course Perth. But she'll slot into that position for Grace Johnston. And look, you imagine that's a precautionary sub. That heavy knock that Johnston did receive, I think that's wise to be safe in that occasion. Here's Valletta, called into action. Valletta plays quickly through Lowry and Cowart. Rigby finds the feet of Cassidy. Lovely switch play. Valletta struggled a little to deal with that down, and it's fallen kindly to Sakalis. A little outside of the right foot finish. Farrow again there, but not quite there. Nino's been active this afternoon, and time again, Millie Farrow's just been half a step away from that delivery. But really good runs, really good movement, good pressure. She's a hard worker, Farrow. Love that outside of the right boot pass from Sakala, such a technician. Here's Pryor. Been solid this afternoon, as has Karapetis on her debut, the 18-year-old. Bauman finds Barbieri, but it's well defended by Rigby. Miocic, nice early pass to Lowry. Lowry can look forward, gets her eyes up. Nice early ball in from Perth, and here's Farrow yet again on the spot. It did take a little touch in from Nino. And Perth just starting to knock on the door. Farrow with her head in her hands. A good early ball from Fonsongkham. Arriving just in front of her defender. Again, really good movement. Great opportunity. And it'll be Hannah Lowry again on that left foot. 2 hands up. What can Perth produce on this one? Lovely ball swung in. Good, strong hands from Nino. Just on 6 foot or just over is Isabel Nino. You can see she stands above the traffic around her in those moments. Chico. He's in the Dundas. Heavy challenge between Farrow and Chico. Bit of a laugh getting up from that one, I think. Valletta. That one hasn't met the intended outcome. Here's Sakalis, though. She can tidy up. Chico drives forward once again. That pass from Allen. It's made a purple shirt. Just a little scrappy these last moments. Claudia Chico, she will be called back, just creeping forward on those throws. A good throw on her as well. Here's Dundas. Folletta looks long but only can clear as far as Allen, who looks to sweep a ball in early from Song Cam. Into a solid challenge between Rigby and Barbieri. This is the coming together of bodies before between Farrow and Chico. Ayres looking to put a bit of pressure on the Glory defensive line, and Cowart will sweep that one long. Good header from Pryor. Great timing in the air she has. Nice little touches. Miocic. Had a difficult time beating Tash Pryor in the air today. That option certainly has been one that Pryor has won on every occasion, but here the Jets can drive forward. Allen looks for the run of Dundas. And Cassidy with perhaps a little bit of a panicked clearance. Nice little check there by Dundas. She looks up on her left foot, tries to sweep something in. A little touch is all it takes. Melina Ayres, an intelligent run across Perth Glory's defensive line, but Morgan Aquino up to the task. Nice switch play there from Glory, that touch. Slightly let herself down, Izzy Folletta. Just gotten away from her. Dundas feels as though she's growing into this game. It's just if Melina Ayres can get anything on that ball through. We are going to see a change here. Gary Van Egmond, some attacking intent coming on. Indy Barbieri is going to take her rest this afternoon.
Melinda Barbieri being replaced by number 25, Lara Gooch.
Good attacking options for Newcastle. Millen Hammond coming on, made her debut last weekend, but here's Farrow driving forward. Karapetis for attention. It will be a Perth Glory corner. And Lara Gooch as well for Newcastle coming on. Fast, exciting young player. We saw last season just opening up defences. And it was her ball too last weekend, the assist that provided Melina Ayres' header. Really powerful young player, but for now we're at the purple end of things, and it's Glory with a corner. This time it will be Georgia Cassidy on the delivery. Ball into the box again. Really good hands by Nino, hard to beat, and it's a nice early release. Here is Lara Gooch, the aforementioned. Great pace, nice ball through, just intercepted. Confirmation of that sub. It was Allen who's made way for Millen Hammond, who, as I was just saying, made her debut last weekend. Folletta clears, but only as far as Chico. Copus Brown just got bodied off that one. Here is Gooch. Dundas, rather. Nice pass from Karapetis. And this is Lara Gooch driving at the top of the 18-yard box. Solid challenge by Folletta, had to be as well. Davis can reload again, and Chico looks to get the early ball through, but almost just got away from her. And it falls kindly. For the Perth Glory goal kick. As I mentioned earlier, the last time these two teams faced each other, it was a big win from Perth, a 4-0 finish over Newcastle. Time goals from Sierra Hinson, 2 for her, Sophia Sakalis and Izzy Filletta, 2 players of which are on the field for Perth today. There is Millen Hammond, who made a debut last weekend, the 19-year-old. Gooch plays it forward. Important toe from Jale. Filletta happy to put a boot through. Farrow, she's working hard today. All the way back to Nino. Karapetis comfortable with Pryor. Bowman can drive forward. Looking for Copus Brown, but Cassidy's positioned well. Ayres just starting to drive forward. Ask a few questions of Perth's defence. They've answered them well. Almost. That one's just trickled over the sideline. You can see what the pressure when Newcastle do start to press a bit higher is doing to that Perth Glory defence. That'll be what Gary Van Egmond on the sideline is trying to implore his players to do. Here's Lowry. Chip looking for the run of Farrow, but Karapetis, who just props after that last pass, perhaps stretching out a hammy.
Back line up!
Yes, yeah.
Farrow still busying herself at the top of the line for Perth. That's fallen nicely to Melina Ayres. Here's Gooch. Great with space in front of her. Little glancing look up. Can she get the cross in? Filletta's done well to close down. It will be a Newcastle throw.
Now there. Yeah.
Another substitution we'll see here.
Substitution for Perth Glory coming off, number 10, Rasami from Songkham. Being replaced by number 18, Sadie Lawrence.
Another great afternoon.
Second
Susan from
substitution,
Songkham.
number 12, Sophia Sakalis, being replaced by number 20, Quinley Quezada.
It's an A-League women's debut for Quinley Quezada, the Philippines international. She wasn't part of the matchday squad last weekend, but high fives all round for Susan von Songkham. The only goal of the day. 2 goals in as many games. And she's in really good form at the moment, but intriguing to see what Quinley Quezada can offer. She's a great prospect for this league and for the Philippines national team, of course coached now by Western United manager in Mark Takaso. Here's Jale. Looks around the corner for Millie Farrow. She's run hard this afternoon, tries for the centering ball to Lowry, but it doesn't quite have the shape it needs, just that final bit of quality. Davis. Nice ball out from Pryor. Jets can push forward. Searching ball over the top, and Gooch is there to receive. See, she tries to sweep it back in, and the attempted volley, I think, from Melina Ayres, and you can see she's remonstrating with Beck Mackey, saying that the Perth player put her head towards the oncoming boot. But Gooch has done really well here to wrap a boot around that cross. Brave defending. Still plenty of time for Newcastle to get back into this one. Perth wanting to hold strong. It was the 79th minute last week that Grace Jale scored Perth's second. just ticking in to that territory now. Rigby nods forward. Jets throw. Hasn't been too physical a game. Some good, strong challenges across both sides. Newcastle with the 9 fouls, just to Perth's 4. Good, nice little ball to Dundas. She can get her eyes up. Has Gooch with a good underlapping run, and Gooch can drive in. Nice cut back. Georgia Cassidy once more has worked tirelessly this afternoon, but you can see the energy, the injection that a player like Lara Gooch has brought on for Newcastle. As Melina Ayres, well, we speak of goal scoring. 31 goals in her A-League career has Melina Ayres. Nicely done by Farrow. She looks for it. Lunging challenge from Claudia Chico. And she will get a yellow card for that one. Second yellow card of the game. Farrow's done really well on this occasion. Chico, she's a fast player. The recovery run, didn't get the ball, definitely got the body. Hannah Lowry, great set piece delivery as we have another look at this run from Farrow, who's been so busy this afternoon. A little bit reckless from Chico, you'd have to say. But this is a great opportunity. Lowry can pull this delivery back enough. Evade Nino. She's good in the air. Doesn't do too much to trouble. Rather the goalkeeper Isabel Nino. The Jets looking to fly forward. Rigby. Ooh, pull of the shirt there. That one easy to see. Really great defensive tracking there by Tash Rigby. Just a frustrated figure that by Lorena Baumann. So we have ticked over into the last 10 minutes of regulation time. Looks as though Farrow is making her way off the sideline. High five from the captain, a round of applause. And it will be Abby Green, the 21-year-old. This is the same substitution we saw against Western United Perth. It was Green in for Farrow. That's been a very busy game by Farrow. She's made herself known across the field. Hasn't quite capitalised on her moments, but nonetheless has hustled really hard this afternoon. And Abby Green, good young fast player. Just look to see out this last 10 minutes for Perth. She can drive forward. Quezada happy to concede a bit of territory, and Morgan Aquino comfortably grabs that one. Will really look to slow things down.
Substitution.
She'll get a hurry on from the referee.
Number 9, Millie Farrow, being replaced by number 17, Abby Green.
Having used all of his on-field options in the bench. Here Hammond can drive forward. Ball perhaps asking a little bit too much. As we see another substitution as well for Newcastle. Claudia Chico making way. Josephine Wilson, the defender.
Substitution for Newcastle Jets. Coming off, number 3, Claudia Chico. Being replaced by number 2, Josephine Wilson.
Wilson can slot into that position where Chico was. Plays a club football with the Northern Tigers. Jets will look to create. Zeta. Tracked well by Karapetis, has been excellent in her debut this afternoon. Perth will really start to slow things down now. Beck Mackey, the referee, giving them plenty of hurry on. Coletta again will just look to try and chew into the time. Perhaps the last warning from the referee to hurry things along. Charlie gets a toe. A bit of a scramble. Lowry looked to make the run across. Izzy Nino. Coach is not too happy on the sideline with the challenge, but Nino seems to be okay. Lowry not giving up on that occasion. Here's Pryor. Pryor, good switch. Finds Wilson. Here's Karapetis. Swivels well. So we get another look at this run through. Anna Lowry almost looked like she did try and jump over the oncoming hands of Nino. Purpose Brown connects nicely with Davis. Hammond takes a bit of a looping touch around Rigby, who's up to challenge. Chakino called into action. Good pressure from Newcastle. That foul count continues to tick away. It's Newcastle leading the chase this afternoon, and there's another one to add to the tally. Perth with an early ball will get a first look. Quinley Kazada. Josie Wilson has her for step. Filetta again with the throw for Perth.
Glory fans, our attendance today is 1,450. A round of applause, thank you for being here.
Newcastle still searching for an equaliser here. Coming into the final minutes of regulation time. Gary Van Egmond's side looking for an answer. Wilson. Here's Gooch. Looks for the little around the corner touch. It's a nice challenge from Lawrence. Really experienced is Sadie Lawrence. Nice release ball from Georgia Cassidy. She's been excellent this afternoon. Both teams coming into this one with a win apiece. Should this result stand, Perth Glory, 2 games in, will be sitting pretty atop of the A-League women's table at the end of round 2. A game in hand at the moment as well, or a game underway as well, between Wellington and Western Sydney Wanderers. That'll be a free kick for Newcastle. They'll look to get numbers early. Looks for the run of Hammond, but it's well defended by Filletta. Good numbers from Newcastle. Here's Jale. Lowry. Composed first touch. Mijicic. Wasn't really sure of the option, and it's Pryor who's picked this up. She can drive forward. Bauman, this has been a great challenge all afternoon between these two players, and a shirt pull apiece. Newcastle with a free kick here, and again, an opportunity to load up numbers. In the final minute of regulation time. Lorena Bauman will look to swing a free kick in for Newcastle. Long drive-in ball. Jale challenges well. Here's Copus Brown, just helps it back in. Clearance from Zeta, but Newcastle have another chance here. Anywhere will do at the moment for Perth. We've ticked over into stoppage time. And Cowart, she's been strong all afternoon. Georgia Cassidy just happy to help that one on. Perth will push up numbers. We've got an additional 7 minutes of stoppage time. That will feel like a long 7 minutes for Alex Aparkas. And a welcome 7 minutes for Gary Van Egmond. Jale, good strength. The ball will find its way all the way down to Nina, who can connect with her backline. Here's Wilson. Davis switches out to Bauman. Hammond with a good long ball through, and here's Lara Gooch. The first touch, taking it a little wide, but she can scoop it back into the middle. Melina Ayres! Well, we saw what she did late last weekend with a header. That one didn't quite have the velocity behind it that she would have liked. But that combination, Lara Gooch, the radar in check for Melina Ayres. She's provided a great impact since coming on, and really clever from Ayres, just peeling off the back of her defender. I have to say, the first touch by Gooch slightly took her away from the goal, and she had to try and wrap her foot around the delivery. Newcastle not giving up on this one yet. 2 minutes have passed into the 7 of stoppage time. Tash Pryor pushing a little higher on the field. Here's Gooch again. Streaming numbers forward for Newcastle. Gooch will try one herself, and that's fallen very, very kindly to Melina Ayres. She didn't know too much about it. I think it might have taken a deflection off the defender too. Just fallen kindly into her path, but Morgan Aquino, thumping kick. Lawrence helps on. Karapetis comfortable on the ball all afternoon. Rigby happy to go all the way back. A little less than convincing from Aquino. Cassidy yet again tidies up in the middle of the park. Here's Filletta. Wilson looks for the The early forward pass. Lara Gooch has continued to look dangerous. Keno just trying to tick away as much of these minutes, these seconds as she can. Releases through for Letta. Finds the run of Green. Strong challenge from Tash Pryor. A few shouts and appeals from the Perth bench, but Pryor has been physical, strong, reliable this afternoon for Newcastle. Here's Melina Ayres. Can she produce a little bit of magic? Millen Hammond, she drives down. She's got close company from Perth defenders all around her, 2-3 shirts. Just perhaps a little reckless with that last challenge. She's asking the question of referee Beck Mackey, and Mircic up to task, gets the clearance away, the late contact from Hammond. She doesn't think it was there. But really, Perth will just take every single one of these seconds that they can. Jale. Nice little toe on to Abby Green, who will drive forward. Good pressure from Karapetis. Cruzado all the way back. It's a little physical from Ayres, and yet again Folletta will just take her time on this one. Young player is Izzy Folletta, but experienced in the league. Ayres continues to work hard. Here's Coward, finds Jale. Good strength on the ball shown by Grace Jale. Just a few too many Newcastle Jets shirts around. 90 seconds of stoppage time remaining here at HBF Park. The Jets looking for one last flurry. I'd love to go home with a point. Florida will take as much time as she can to get this back into play. Pryor into the final minute of stoppage time. Karapetis on her debut. What can she produce for Newcastle? Nice pass to Hammond. The Jets need to be moving forward at the moment. Time is the enemy for Newcastle. Here's Wilson. Gooch, lovely little touch. Back to Wilson, can she keep it in play just? Here's Pryor. The pass is less than favourable. Karapetis looking for an option. Just been forced back by Perth Glory, who are holding on here. Well, it's now or never for Newcastle. They've got to get this ball forward. Here's Davis. Pryor. Jale close for attention. She drives forward to Gooch, and that will be that here at HBF Park. There is the full-time whistle. Beck Mackey calls time on this afternoon's encounter. The Glory continue their strong form up against the Jets, securing all 3 points in a dominant performance at HBF Park. And it's a long trip back for Newcastle, who will have to wait until their first home game fixture next weekend to try and make amends. And in a game that could have fallen either way at certain points, it was Susan von Songkham the difference with a goal in the 50th minute. Finishes here, Perth Glory 1, Newcastle Jets 0. It wasn't a game without chances. Plenty of opportunities from both sides, you'd have to say. Millie Farrow was busy in what was a really big afternoon, and Melina Ayres. It's not a game without a good Melina Ayres chance, and she certainly had hers as well. She worked hard this afternoon, but ultimately couldn't capitalise. But this was the separator. Well worked by Farrow with the assist. And a very clinical finish by Susan Fonsoncam, who nets her second goal in as many games. And you'd have to say, a well-deserved finish, a well-deserved goal for Perth, who had tested Newcastle all afternoon. Izzy Nino definitely the busier of the two goalkeepers, but it wasn't without chances for Newcastle. This one perhaps one of their best. Good shot by Beck Burrows, carried down by Aquino, and not only do so much with it, but end-to-end stuff at HBF Park. There weren't as many shots on target as both teams would have liked, but nonetheless, they both kept pressing. Lara Gooch made a big difference when she came on. Exciting, energetic young player, looked to really open things up. Hugs and compliments at the end of the game, and Alex Apakis, for the time being, sits atop of the table in the Liberty A-League. Have a look at the full-time match stats, and as we spoke about across the game, really nothing much separating the possession between these two teams. Just 3 shots on target for Perth Glory, and they only needed 1 to go on the back of the net, being the difference today. Many thanks for joining me this afternoon on 10 Play and Paramount Plus, your home of Liberty A-League football. Don't forget to tune into Dub Zone tonight on 10 Play, where the team will take you through all the weekend's highlights and action. But for now, many thanks from me, Grace Gill, and all the team here. It finishes at HBF Park, Perth Glory 1, Newcastle Jets 0.